Well, fairly busy 24 hours, if not one, but two waves of thunderstorms that came in. It started off where it's mostly a wind threat. Once we got past that midnight hour and the storm spilled in from Kansas and Oklahoma, but once we got into this afternoon, it was not wind, it was hail. A lot of people sent in their hail pictures, and I appreciate everyone that did. It's really nice to kind of see exactly what's happening on the ground, kind of get that ground truth, because sometimes our radar estimates aren't actually what's happening, and I want to make sure everyone's clear. Severe weather chances for tonight are done. No concern of severe weather until we get back into Wednesday morning. That's our next opportunity. And look at these storm reports. You can see a whole lot of wind damage happened near Joplin, and also saw a lot of damage over in Kansas as well. But once we got into the afternoon, those thunderstorms fired up in the area that yesterday I was saying, right here, this is where it's going to be. And well, that's where it was. Mostly hail, and there was some absolutely large hail thrown into the mix. I think the largest hail I was seeing was right around that state line, kind of south of West Plains, kind of west of Salem. To everyone that sent in their pictures, here's the biggest winner that I saw. Tennis ball size hail by Brandy Johnson over in Viola in Arkansas. If you have a hailstone that is bigger than tennis ball, or if you got a hailstone that is about the size of tennis ball, send it in to me. I'd love to see it. This is the biggest that I've seen so far of all the storms that came in earlier today, but there was a massive amount of kind of just hail that was dumped in, especially over Kimberly City and Cape Fear. That was another area that got hit pretty hard. About a quarter inch of rain in Springfield. We need the rain, and we're going to get it once we get into Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and potentially Sunday as well. Here's this cold front. It has moved in. It's still producing tornadoes. We got a tornado right along the state line in Tennessee and Kentucky. This cold front is still going to be producing active weather throughout the night, just not for us. It's moved too far off into the east, and we have all this cold air that is rushing back in. They teach you in school, you mix the warm air with the cold air and you're going to have opportunities of storm. Well, here's the cold air that mixed in with the warmer air that we had earlier, and the cold air is going to be in place for Monday, and then we start to warm back up for Tuesday, then we start to warm back up for Wednesday, before more storm chances are going to be coming back really Wednesday in that morning hour. Some clouds to start the day for Monday. We'll shake that off by the time we get into the afternoon. More clouds will be coming back for Tuesday. No concern of any rainfall. The rain chances for Monday and Tuesday, I have that at 0%. And here's your temperatures for both days. Mid to lower 50s for Monday. Winds not too breezy, but once we get into Tuesday, these winds are going to start to pick back up as we try to reach the 70-degree mark. That was coming just short into those upper 60s. We can get gusts on Tuesday about 35 to 40 miles per hour. So pay attention to that, and also pay attention to our next storm threat. I'm really pinpointing that morning to early afternoon hour on Wednesday, where we can have pretty much a similar setup to what we experienced, not as much for today, but what we got around the 14th, where we can have large hail and tornadoes that are going to push back through. And I think once again, the areas that are going to be the worst is often to the east. That was the worst today. That was the worst 2 weeks ago. And I think that's where it's going to be the worst once we get into Wednesday. And there's a whole lot of opportunities for rain. And you can look at that when I switch it to the 7-day forecast. You can see rain for Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And well, guess what? We still have a chance for Sunday. Temperatures are not too bad for this week. We do get colder for Monday, and then colder once we start getting those chances of rain later into the week. A cooler 7-day forecast, but opportunities of rain, and it's a much needed rain going into this growing season.
I was about to say, we're finally starting to see some of that rain that we really needed.
I do want to say we're getting the rain, which is good for the growing season. Don't plant yet. If we kind of had a 10-day forecast, I think there's some opportunities where you can get some freezing temperatures. So you got to keep out for that. I'd probably wait a couple more weeks before you do any of that planting.
I don't like that, but hey,
nope.
It's a springtime. That's what we expect, right?
I don't need any help killing plants.
No, not at all.
We can have perfect weather and still find a way to mess that up.
Yeah, exactly. Me too, man. Well, thanks.